Wyoming Humanities, taking a closer look at human experience. Think why.
Globalization, marketing, tourism, and huge investments. This was nothing compared with what was to come. Welcome to the Anthropocene.
So smokescreen, this and other warnings, is a mixed media performance. It's a devised performance.
Extinction, economy, diversity, longevity. Earth is a circular, closed system.
And overall, it is a meditation on the concept or the question or the idea of the Anthropocene as a new epoch, as a new era in terms of geologic time, and it is the era of human impact on the Earth.
The Anthropocene is a word that represents the recognition that humans have biosphere influences, that we are now influencing every important biological and even some geological processes in the planet. And I think it is a word that represents this recognition.
And respecting the rights of the last human being.
Remember, this was all established way over 150 years ago, long before we knew the times associated with them. They saw that different layers had different fossils in them. And therefore they broke up the geologic column into, first off, eras, and then into periods, and then into epochs. And each of these little divisions was divided by a period of extinction, when one fossil package went to another fossil package. So one argument about naming the present time Anthropocene, although we don't quite know where it begins, is the fact we're in the middle of a major extinction now. Many animals from the big megafauna that populated the plains at the end of the Pleistocene to many microorganisms in the ocean are going extinct as a result of human action.
We have all these different geologic ages, and the ones that have seen at the end deal with the relatively recent part of geologic history. So the scene part is recent. Anthropo is just humans.
We are responsible for many of these changes, and we have to recognize that first. Once we have that, we can have conversations about what to do about it. However, we have to recognize about the profound effects that we are having, and not only on the planet as a whole, but locally on the land. I'm a scientist, and I strongly believe in the importance of science. I think that we need to use science to inform the very difficult decisions that we have in the Anthropocene. However, I'm more and more convinced, as a result of my job, that science can only maybe change people's minds, but it cannot change people's hearts. And I think that the challenges of the Anthropocene require that we have a change of heart. And I think that's the role that the arts can play.
As an artist, we can put our creative process in service to these concepts. And so, for example, in this particular work, I took the themes that were weaving in and out of the overall concept of the Anthropocene and of climate change, such as the issues of reusability or recycling or upcycling. And I enacted and applied those concepts in the creative process. Every single piece of the costumes in the work are also borrowed, recycled, and reused. What I hope can be done is a multi-layered communication that reaches people on more than just one level.
These different interdisciplinary approaches force the audience to think hard about who we are and what we do, what we make, how we live.
You can't fix anything out there. You're just one person. Global warming, global cooling, colony collapse, whatever. Isn't it a relief knowing that the scientific evidence is not conclusive?
By casting doubt on the numbers, on the statistics, by saying that this research hasn't been confirmed, we cast doubt on the evidence and it's one of the means of forestalling a change.
Extremist scientists. Speculative, premature, unbalanced, unsupported, insufficient data. Difficult to quantify.
You know, I'm not persuaded that any one person or any one body of people, artists or dancers or society or scientists or politicians or corporations or whoever, I'm not persuaded any one person or group has the answer. But I am persuaded that we won't find any answers unless we're all thinking about it, unless we're all asking the questions and taking the questions seriously.
That is how we're going to make the shift, is through those conversations and having words, new formats, new ways of engaging, like the Anthropocene, will help us jumpstart those conversations.
The stuff which was on TV and quite acceptable in the 50s is not acceptable now. So I suspect that people who are against the whole concept of climate change will slowly realize that that is not something that they can fight, that the concept is real and that they're going to have to adjust their lives accordingly.
We need to actively combat these voices and these forces that would keep us from making the changes.
What if we could imagine something different? What if this is the part when we are more creative than destructive? Go ahead. Try it. Don't worry. We won't disappear. We won't disappear. We won't disappear.